talk in this town recently about throwing up a no-fly zone. And without reference to any specific country in the Middle East, could you talk a little bit about what goes into an operation like that? Because I think there's a notion around that it's pretty simple and easy, but what I know of it is that it might be a little more complicated. Could you just talk about that a little bit?
Well, no-fly zones are, actually any military operation tends to be a little more complicated than it generally gets talked about, in open sources, because there are other things that have to occur. Secondly, they tend to be more risky, and third thing I'd mention is, at some level we're kind of the victims of our own success. We've made the very difficult look very manageable for a very long time, and so we do have to be a bit cautious about that. But to be effective, a no-fly zone would have to have several elements. You'd have to knock down some of the integrated air defense system of an adversary. You wouldn't, although stealth technology exists, to have a no-fly zone, you simply don't penetrate it, you have to control it. So it means that at some level you would have to degrade the integrated air defense system. Secondly, anytime we would put an airman, in this case, over potentially hostile territory, you're going to have a search and rescue or a personnel recovery plan. So we would have to position resources that, in the event of a pilot going down, either by hostile activity or by mechanical failure, that we'd have the capability to extract them from that situation. And third, you have to assume, I shouldn't say you have to assume, I have to assume, as the military member with responsibility for these kind of activities, that the potential adversary is not just going to sit back and allow us to impose our will on them, that they could, in fact, take exception to the fact that we were imposing a no-fly zone and then act outside of their borders with long-range rockets and missiles and artillery or even asymmetric threats. So, yes, you could establish a no-fly zone. You have to have personal recovery. And regionally, in the area that kind of bounds the no-fly zone, you better have your readiness condition up in the event that they would take action against the imposition of the no-fly zone.
And then how